a minute?
Yeah, what's in your mind?
I want to go through the material for Lucy Coe's interrogation today.
Well, it's pretty clear cut. Everything points right to Lucy as the killer. I practically guarantee it.
You can practically guarantee it.
All we need is her confession, Anna.
Well, you get me some evidence, and I will accept your guarantee. But until then, we have to keep digging.
Well, if we dig in Lucy Coe's garden, that's where we'll find all the evidence.
Do you remember Robert's last piece of advice to us? He said that we can't make any concessions where friends are concerned, especially not in a murder investigation.
Lucy's not a friend of mine.
I know, but Buzz is. He's also a murder suspect. Now, when you're a cop, you have to be impartial. When you're on a case, you can't have any friends at all. None.
We're not really talking about Buzz here, are we? How's Duke today?
He's all right. He's, working towards doing his time and getting out, and so far everything seems to be pretty quiet down there.
Well, good.
Let's pray that it stays that way.
Who sent you? Who are you? Oh, I know who put you up to this. You're trying to ruin my chance of parole!
Forget your parole, Lavery. You'll leave the joint or be in a pine box. You're a dead man, pal. The organization will see to that.
Hey, regular! Stop it! Stop it! Break it up! What the hell's going on here?
He started it.
I did not start it.
I was minding my own business when this goon jumped me.
Lavery?
If I wanted to be somebody's boxing bag, you'd say back in the back still.
Yeah, sure, I roughed you up. Not after you tried to do some surgery with a knife. Meaning what? Meaning I'm here minding my own business. If I hadn't caught him, you'd be pulling the knife out of me just now. You got anything to add? All right, secure the area. Take Lavery and Mackay to my office. Take this guy and put him in a holding cell until I tell you what to do with him.
Yes, sir.
Get him out of here.
Come on.
What does that mean, you believe me? You didn't throw this knife yourself, did you?
I won't be the last one after dodge either.
I'm afraid you're right. It's just the beginning. They're gonna try again. And they might succeed. Let's get out of here.
Look on Buzz's face.
He hardly recognizes his own daughter.
I think he was pretty pleased with the new Sandy, don't you?
Please, he was absolutely overjoyed. You couldn't have given him a better gift.
Well, I think Sandy was pretty pleased with the new Sandy, too.
They were both very, very happy.
And they deserve it. It's been very rough on them lately.
I wasn't any help coming down on Sandy as hard as I did, especially with the problems that she had at that point. She certainly didn't need a doctor to read her the riot act.
Oh, I don't know. I think maybe what you did was good for her. I think nothing else. It motivated her to get her act together and change things.
Yes, but it could have been kinder. You know, as doctors, we sometimes get carried away with our own power. Just because we do help some people doesn't give us the right to abuse others.
Nurse McManus reports
Nobody's
Dr.
perfect.
Ozazi in medical records. Nurse
I really
McManus
must remember that.
Dr. Ozazi in medical records.
Did I say something that was funny?
No, you said something that was very nice. It was compassionate and with a lot of understanding, and I hardly recognized you.
You know, Sandy's not the only one that's capable of changing.
Yes, I see that. What's the occasion?
Well, number one, it's high time. The other thing is it's my New Year's resolution.
You've never kept a New Year's resolution in your life.
Well, I think things are going to be different in many ways.
How?
You just see for yourself.
I look forward to it.
Dr. Bedwell, report to obstetrics. Dr. Bedwell, report to obstetrics.
Yes. Oh, sister. Can I help you?
I hope so. My name is Sister Mary Camellia. I'd like to speak to somebody in charge, please.
Excuse me. Maybe we could help. I'm Dr. Monica Quartermain. This is Dr. Alan Quartermain.
How do you do? I'm Sister Mary Camellia.
How do you do? What brings you to General Hospital, sister? That is the correct form of address, is it, sister?
Yes. I'm only a novice, but I elected to wear the habit. So you may call me Sister.
Well, what can we do for you?
My order is affiliated with a small hospital in Canada. I'm in this country to visit selected hospitals in order to study organizational facilities and methods of fundraising.
She really should talk to Steve.
Yes, Steve is our chief of staff, Steve Hardy, but he's not here right now. Look, maybe we could show you around anyway, and we might bump into Buzz Stryker. He's Steve's assistant.
That's very kind of you.
No, our pleasure.
From the look on his face, I'm glad I wasn't the one that wrote the card.
Me neither.
Thank you for a lovely tour. You have excellent facilities here.
You certainly know your way around a hospital, sister.
Yes, I'm very impressed with your knowledge.
Well, I find the entire setup fascinating. I would love to be involved with an institution like this.
Excuse me, Jade.
Yes.
Did you get a hold of Buzz Stryker?
Yes, Doctor. He should be coming out of CICU anytime now.
Oh, here he comes.
Oh, good, Buzz. Dr. Buzz Stryker, I'd like you to meet Sister Mary Camellia.
How do you do?
It's a pleasure to meet you, Doctor.
Sister Mary Camellia works at St. Mary's Hospital in Quebec.
Oh, certainly. I know of it. From what I understand, it's one of the finest small hospitals in Canada.
Well, we do a lot of good, but it's a constant struggle, as you well know.
Many needs, little money.
Exactly. Which is why I would like to address your hospital board. With your permission, I would like to make an appeal for fundraising help.
Well, I think we can arrange that. I'm a great believer in cooperation between institutions like ours. The idea of a linkage between a large medical center like General Hospital and a smaller facility like St. Mary's really intrigues me.
We have a lot to offer each other.
I couldn't agree more. Wouldn't it be a marvelous teaching opportunity if we could send our residents and med students up to Canada to observe their hospitals?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. Maybe we could even establish some sort of ongoing exchange program.
Well, you Americans certainly work fast. I think I will enjoy Port Charles. It seems like a wonderful city.
How long are you planning on staying?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Well, it's a good thing that you came now.
Why do you say that?
Well, if you would have arrived a few weeks ago, you might not have thought Port Charles was such a nice place. We had quite a bit of trouble here, but fortunately, the people who caused the trouble have been put in prison.
They need you in the yard.
What about these two?
The warden said it was okay to leave them alone. But you two don't get any ideas. I'll be just outside.
Better luck next time. Why don't you just finish the job yourself and get it over with?
Job?
Yeah, killing me. That clown with the knife was an organization, man. Don't bother denying it.
Yes, but not one of mine.
Oh, like hell.
Duke, I swear it.
Oh, save your breath. The mob doesn't make one move unless you approve of it. That was your knife meant for me as surely as if you held it in your own hand yourself.
Oh, no.
You know, I hate the mob, and I hate everything it stands for. And you, Angus, you are the head of the mob. Well, you tell me, how does it feel to head such an army? Do you feel proud? Does it bring a tear to your eye every time one of your men grabs another victim? Well, does it? Well, let me tell you, old man, you make me sick. I'm sick and tired of it, and I don't want any more trouble. I am counting on an early parole. And not you, not anybody else is going to jeopardize that.
Why should I?
Oh, I understand our agreement does not include any protection for me. But I have your word that Anna and Robin will be kept safe. And I will hold you to that if it is the last thing that I do. Do you hear me?
They won't be harmed, I swear it. I know how much they mean to you.
Well, they mean more to me than my life. And certainly much more than yours.
Your assailant's in solitary. Be a long time before he pulls the knife on anybody else.
Yes, I suppose it's back to the infirmary for me.
No, under the circumstances, I don't think that's very wise.
So what do you have in mind? Solitary confinement to guarantee my safety.
A little different idea.
Oh, an early parole, perhaps?
Hardly, no. Now, you're going to be spending your time, but you're going to work for me. Right over there in the reception area. And you come with me. I want you to look at every photo of every inmate in this prison. Maybe you'll be able to identify any potential hitman before he strikes again.
Now, you're not going to trust him, are you?
Why shouldn't I?
Well, don't you know that every member of the mob swears an oath of silence? You hardly think Angus is going to break it, do you?
Where have you been? Doesn't he know?
Don't I know what?
Mackay's already broken the code.
When?
Why do you think we showed up in the infirmary when we did? Mackay heard all about the plot to kill you, and he came straight to me with the news. He cut any ties with the mob when he decided to save your life.
This is a cushy assignment, Lavery. Cons would kill to be in your shoes.
One already tried.
They won't get anywhere near you here.
What are my duties here?
You'll function as a prison trustee.
Does that mean I'm one of the good bad guys, yeah?
One of the best work in the warden's office. You'll have the run of his suite, including the file room next door.
And just what exactly am I supposed to do?
Whatever you're told. What you don't do is start anything funny.
Well, I'm not exactly in the mood for jokes.
Neither am I. Keep it serious and we'll get along just fine.
We're going to be seeing a lot of each other, yeah?
All that depends on you. I'm posted right out in the corridor. Make any trouble, and you'll see more of me than you ever dreamed.
You all settled?
Yeah, I know the ropes.
Good. You stay here, and I want you to go through every photo in these albums. All right? If you see anybody that you can identify as any threat to this guy, you let me know. You can go.
I guess I owe you an apology. I didn't know you tried to save my life.
For all the good it did.
I'm really sorry. I thought you set up the hit. I was way out of line. I feel really bad about the things I said to you earlier. I mean, I said them out of anger. I hope you realize that, yeah? You know, you really took one hell of a chance.
I should have taken it much earlier.
You turned against the organization. There's no going back now.
No, there isn't.
We've come a long way, haven't we? From you being my boss in the organization to my being your son.
Well, that came as quite a shock to me to realize that I had a son.
It's funny, but I had this feeling that you knew. I don't know why. I just always felt that our relationship was special.
Well, it was. But out of friendship, not blood.
Yeah, I suppose I just waited for you to acknowledge the blood. You did that this afternoon.
Well, it took some time to get used to the idea that you are my son. I have a lot to make up to you.
No. You've done that. You've done much more. We both know what it means to go up against the organization and break the code of silence.
I'm a dead man.
No, not if I can help it, you're not.
Well, my life for yours is a small price to pay. I owe you that. son.
I appreciate all your help.
No problem.
No, our pleasure.
Look forward to spending more time with you.
Well, I wouldn't be leaving now if I didn't have to locate a place to stay.
Oh, what about the gatehouse?
Gatehouse would be perfect.
I beg your pardon.
Well, we have a gatehouse on our property, and we'd be more than delighted to have you stay there. I think you'd find it quite comfortable.
I couldn't impose.
Please, be our guest.
You wouldn't be imposing at all. We'd love to have you.
I appreciate that.
And we could drive you back and forth to the hospital every day as well.
Certainly. Please say you'll stay. I think you'll like it.
Very well, I shall. Thank you so much.
Oh, our pleasure. Listen, all I have to do is get my coat in my office, and we can be off.
Fine, I'll get mine as well. We'll see you later.
Okay.
There's Kuykendall. Report to Dr. Angel in physical therapy.
Such nice people.
Yes. Especially when they're getting along well together.
I take it they don't always.
Oh, Alan and Monica have their ups and downs like any other couple. Well, I have a patient to visit. I trust I'll see you here tomorrow, sister?
Oh, yes, indeed.
It was a great pleasure meeting you.
You too, Dr. Stryker.
Take care.
God bless.
Nurse Torino, report to Dr. Barrows in the clinic. Nurse Patty Torino, report to Dr. Barrows in the clinic.
Pardon me. I couldn't help noticing you watching me. Have we met before?
Not directly.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
I'm sorry, Sister Mary Camelia. It's just that I went to a private school run by your order.
Really?
The nuns who taught me had an enormous influence on my life.
For the better, I hope.
Well, at the time, I didn't think so.
Well, mine is both a nursing and a teaching order. Perhaps our early influence on you led to your decision to become a nurse.
No, it was more personal than that.
I don't mean to pry.
No, I don't mind telling you. Guess everybody else knows. My grandfather and brother were crime bosses. They ran the Asian underworld here. They came very close to destroying the city.
I see. I can imagine how difficult that must have been for you.
They were family. Having to turn against them was the hardest thing I ever had to do. You see, in my culture, the family is venerated above all.
All but right and wrong. So you turned to nursing as a way of healing your wounds?
Yes, to try and atone for my family's sins.
I can understand that.
As if I could ever make up for what my grandfather and brother did.
We may be our brother's keepers, but we cannot control their destinies. Nor should we be expected to answer for their misdeeds.
I think I understand what you're saying. But I can't help but feel guilty.
Sentiment I know well.
Well, how do you handle it?
By following the same path you've chosen, helping others.
I bet you're good at it.
I do my best.
Just talking to you has made me feel a lot better.
I'm glad.
Thank you for understanding. You're a great listener. Is that what you learned at the convent?
Perhaps. Solitude is a great teacher. Being cut off from the material world forces one to re-examine priorities. Then again, that's the theory behind any kind of imprisonment.
Did you recognize anyone?
No one who's after you?
I'm more concerned about you.
Yeah.
No, I mean that. And you're in as much danger as I am, maybe even more.
I did what I had to do, not accept the consequences.
Over my dead body.
It's the other way around.
Isn't this strange? We're sitting here discussing each other's protection after all the time we spent together at each other's throats.
Oh, what goes around comes around.
Well, that's an awfully fatalistic attitude.
Only if you've taken more than you've given.
I want to get one thing off my chest, Angus.
Hmm?
I used the secret of Lorleon against you, only to protect the two most important people in my life. Anne and Robin, I love them very, very much. I never would threaten to expose the secret if it weren't for them.
I hope not.
No, I wouldn't. I understand that it What's our trust?
Well, Orleans is, well, it's my Anna and Robin. Secret means everything to me.
If anything ever happens to you, I will take full responsibility to protect the people involved with Orleans. I promise you, it will remain our secret.
I'm counting on that, too.
Oh, you have my word, as I have yours about Anna and Robin.
Well, they're safe. And as long as Lollian is too, I can face anything. Even death.
Any luck? No familiar faces.
Sorry.
No, I'm not surprised. The organization could have several members in here that you might not be able to recognize.
You know, they'll be gunning for him as well as for me.
Well, at least you're going to be safe working in the office.
Yeah, I'll be safe, but what about Angus?
I don't follow you.
Well, you can hardly send them back out now with the regular prison workforce. Every corner in the place knows by this time that he informed on the hitman. He'll be a sitting duck.
I can't protect every inmate in prison.
Warden Angus might as well have signed his own death warrant when he walked into your office. He might as well just have painted a bullseye on his chest. Now, he didn't have to tell you about the attempt on my life. He could have kept his mouth shut.
I realize that.
You want to send a message to the mob? Then why don't you protect one who speaks out against them? If you don't want any other con ever to give you any information about the organization, then you send him right back in there. You send him right back in there with the rest of them, and he will not last more than 5 minutes.
All right, Angus. I'll give you a job in my file room. You'll work with Lavery. You should be safe there.
Thank you.
And the file room is right next to the reception area, so you two can keep an eye on each other.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Sorry to disturb you, Warden, but it's time for these two to return to their cells.
All right, Lavery. You and Mackay start your new assignment tomorrow morning. In the meantime, stay out of trouble. This is the warden. What is it, operator? Someone wants to know when visiting day is for Angus Mackay? You tell him that he's under special protection. No visitors at all. None.
I checked out the card manufacturing company that made Patrick's Valentine card.
Yeah, can you trace it?
Not a chance. They make hundreds of them.
Yeah, I've sold to many outlets, I bet.
From New York to Florida. It's going to be tough finding out where somebody bought a card.
There's another way to expose them.
You thinking about handwriting comparisons?
Absolutely. We have several experts on hand. I'll get one over to you tomorrow.
Might get us someplace.
Get samples of Lucy and Buzz's handwriting first.
Stick the two together, see what we come up with?
Yeah. I knew the murderer would make a mistake. I knew it.
Mm-hmm.
Sending a threatening note to Patrick was a careless deed.
Big ego. One out over caution.
That's what I hoped.
You know, if I wanted to kill somebody, I sure the hell wouldn't warn him. I hope Lucy sleeps well tonight, because it's going to be the last time she sleeps in her own bed for a long time.
Lucy isn't going anywhere until I can prove she killed Ted or Broder.
I know,
but what? I want concrete evidence. This is your case, Frisco.
I'm working on it.
You were given your best clue today. Now you find out who sent that card, and I'll give you an arrest warrant.
Well, start drawing up the papers.
All right. I will. But whose name do we put on top? Who wants to be Terry and Patrick's final Valentine?